Now, it took a little bit longer than I thought it would for the entire situation to just break down and unfold into pure and utter chaos, but to be honest with you, I didn't expect it to get this bad, because the situation that we're in now with everybody is 10 times worse than it could have ever been. Currently, Shin is in the actual process of losing his Sakamoto family way after being faced with the insane threat that is Tenq, this archer and assassin, the successful experiment of Alkamar to create an emotionless and pure wildcard hostile assassin, and his willingness to just kill Aoi and Hana, Sakamoto's wife and daughter, without any hesitation whatsoever. And it's interesting that Tenq would be considered the success, because I wouldn't exactly call him emotionless. He has feelings, he has a personality, Tenq has his own thoughts and everything. However, it does seem that he's lacking that little bit of social awareness. He is almost like an innocent young child that was never taught right from wrong. It's like he's more emotionally stunted from all the killing and bloodshed he's been surrounded by as a child, more than anybody else, to the point that even the whole concept of friendship is foreign and just weird to him. He's even seen later in the chapter wondering why he even thinks he needs friends, despite it obviously being an innate human trait to want to communicate and be with your tribe. It makes sense why an assassin who literally doesn't even have a basis of right or wrong, any kind of foundation of society, and has been whisked away from it intentionally, would be so casually willing to kill someone's wife and daughter. He doesn't understand right or wrong, to the point that he hasn't even been explained boundaries before. It's like when a 5-year-old doesn't know how to be polite and he calls someone ugly to their face, even though he's not wrong, he's just being honest. He doesn't realize the bad deed that he's doing, lacking tact. And sure, killing Sakamoto's loved ones would definitely be a great way to not only get back at Sakamoto, but to ensure he doesn't mess with Slur again, or at the very least breaks down into a deep depression that makes him unable to move and fight back. It's not a plan that Slur would find worthy, and it's not a plan that Slur would want to use in the organization and the world that he seeks to create. It also shows a lack of responsibility and a lack of direction and decorum from Tenq himself. And despite Slur, who's currently trying to just plunge the entire world in JAA into chaos, and has even made his own, albeit possibly empty, threats in regards to killing Sakamoto's wife and daughter himself, he has enough of a sense of justice to be like, Tenq, that's not the way that you conquer your enemy, right? And that's not the kind of person Slur wants in his organization. That's the exact kind of world that Sasaki, the JAA chairman, was trying to create with Alkamar. This mindless, hostile world where right and wrong is not even present. So of course, Slur in this organization that's directly opposing the world that Asaki has created, Slur would have no place for Tenq in his organization. And the worst part is, that whole child reference even holds up when you see the kind of quote-unquote innocence, if you can call it that does shine through in Tenq, especially when he's running away from Shin after they kind of get into that quick brawl. Because Tenq is like, I don't want to kill if it's gonna mean that I can get my friends back. It shows that he's so innocent that he's willing to believe Shin's the fortune teller, and that this may get him back in good graces with Slur, and that's why he's not going to kill, because he just took Shin's lie on face value. In fact, it's Heisuke who ends up stopping Shin from fighting against Tenq and letting Tenq escape, because he has to turn his gun on Shin and break his weapon. Something that angers Shin tremendously, because sure, Heisuke can't read Tenq's thoughts and realize how serious he was, but Heisuke isn't willing to let Shin compromise himself. He's like, hey, do you remember how big of a deal it was that Taro Sakamoto was able to change us and get us out of the dark, depressing assassin lifestyle? You're not an assassin anymore, Shin. You're a convenience store clerk. We're trying to protect our family here. I understand that Shin and Heisuke have been away from Sakamoto and have had to basically survive on their own in this desolate and violent landscape, not just floor 2, but floor 1 as well. And it may change their perspective on certain things, being without an amazing ally like Sakamoto that can always solve your problems. If they can't knock Tenq out and change his mind, he is going to kill Aoi and Hana, and that's why Shin is so worried. But Heisuke admits, you know what? Sakamoto convenience employees don't kill. They have group therapy and understand one another. And although, sure, they can't decide to kill him without, at the very least, honoring the family rules, the code that kept them on the path of light, and hearing Tenq out and trying to change it. If they fail that attempt, maybe we can revisit this topic. Although it seems like we may not even get the chance, because despite Heisuke doing the Lord's work and talking some great sense into Shin, it may all be for naught, because Shin sending Tenq out on his own may have actually caused a chain reaction of events. Now that Tenq is running on his own, he actually encounters Atari, the real fortune teller, and her 2 guards. And now, with Atari laying eyes on Tenq, we get full confirmation that he is not her knight in shining armor. This may clear her from the slur allegations that says that she was working with Slur and just waiting for Tenq to come and rescue her. The thing is, there might be something else interfering with her predictions when it comes to Slur. Maybe it has to do with the multiple different personalities. Again, my theory is that if Tenq isn't her knight in shining armor, Heisuke most likely is, because Heisuke's got 1 brain cell and just makes him unpredictable to follow, and I think she likes that about him. Tenq is confirmed to be the quote-unquote great misfortune that will be dealt to them and steal the lives of 3 people on basement floor 2. Now, Atari said that 3 people will die if they are not able to get their lucky items. 2 of those people were supposedly being the guards, and while Atari's lucky item was her knight in shining armor, whoever that may be, once they show up, she could be saved and not die. The other guard, the one dude, his lucky item was a tiger, so he's probably not going to be so lucky. And I think that's why he, of all people, just immediately engages Tenq as soon as he sees him, because he's like, you know what? If I'm gonna die anyway, I might as well accept my fate and go out fighting, which is respectable. It's surprising though, because in the last fight with Higuchi, we saw that those guards really aren't all that. They're not that strong. They can defend themselves, but up against real high-level assassins, they're just fodder. However, fighting Tenq here, this guard is completely on full momentum. He's able to start throwing multiple different attacks, and Tenq is only dodging and not throwing any counters back, to the point that he gives this poor guard false hope that maybe, oh, just maybe, he's got the advantage here, and Tenq's skills have nothing to do with close quarters. He's only a long-range bow fighter. We know that's not the case. It actually turns out, once Shin and Heisuke arrive and stop the guard from fighting, Tenq admits that, hey, Shin, I know you're mad at me, but I took your fortune to heart. I really don't want to kill anybody. I really want to change my relationships and make friends. In this moment, when they see Tenq have every reason to kill someone, and he just doesn't, not only did he escape and not fight back against Shin and Heisuke, but now he's not even fighting this random guard who's attacking him first because he genuinely wants to repair his friendships. Shin and Heisuke are like, you know what? Maybe he can be saved, like an innocent child who doesn't know any better. If you can show him the right path, they're more than willing to follow it. But when they're just wandering around in the dark, just doing what they think makes sense, they're hopeless. Again, the fact that he accepted Shin's lie with just at the face of it just shows how much willing he is to accept whoever gives him a guiding light in his life. So it is sad that, ironically enough, even though Shin isn't the fortune teller, he might be right, and not killing may be what brings Tenq back to Slur, because this guy, too much of a wild card for what Slur is trying to accomplish. And if anything, it just makes Kashima, Mr. Reindeer, even more credible as someone that was following Slur because he genuinely thought Slur was a good guy and would bring about good things in the world. With the chance that Tenq may be able to be changed for good and actually become a good guy yet, we got excited, but unfortunately, this revelation came way too late. Because with all of the parties in the same vicinity now, the 2 guards still being alive immediately blow Shin and Heisuke's cover because they have some kind of data registry of all of the different prisoners and were more than aware that Shin and Heisuke were in this prison. And he goes, oh, wow, you're Sakamoto Taro's allies. Why would you lie and say you're the fortune teller, you scumbag? Atari's actually the fortune teller. And not for nothing, I mean, this guy was just doing what he thought was right, but he met his fortune in the most deserving way, because that's what he gets for snitching. You really did fuck this entire situation up, because now not only are you dead, Tenq takes less than a second to just let one of those arrows loose and rip and just blow through his center, like literally split him apart from the inside. You just made the situation worse for everybody, because now everyone's got to deal with your problem. The funny thing is Tenq goes, oh, Shin, you were lying. Cool, I can kill everybody. it's so interesting as well to see like that innocence, that quote unquote emotionlessness play, because Tenq just accepts that Shin was lying and isn't even mad about it or upset. And now with Tenq full on threat mode against Atari, the remaining woman guard, Shin, and Heisuke, this is not going to be good, because again, Tenq is a threat that I don't think anyone in this general party is going to be able to handle. Altogether, that might be different. I'm still hoping for an apart appearance and he comes in to save us. That would make me genuinely shed tears on screen. But Tenq is our biggest threat yet in this prison arc. And if we lose Atari, the main reason why we came here to begin with, this whole prison arc was for nothing. It's time to put all that previous training into place, because not for nothing, there are still 2 more deaths that have been foretold. Sure, one of them could be the woman guard, bless her heart, rest in peace. However, I'm scared to find out who the other one is, because that leaves Shin, Heisuke, Atari, and Tenq himself. Sure, could Tenq die here and this be his last moment? Definitely, it wouldn't surprise me. But judging on Atari's reaction to seeing Shin and Heisuke, one of these guys is definitely probably her knight in shining armor. So if we can say Atari is safe by proxy, could the knight in shining armor sacrifice themselves? Could they, even though they're gonna protect Atari, could they die? I doubt we would lose Shin this far in the game. Shin is, you know, end level. There's no way we lose him. Is Heisuke dying? As cool as Tenq is, at this point between these 4 characters and the fact that Atari is most likely going to be the one guaranteed to survive, as well as Shin, don't make me lose insane quickscoper MLG sniper over fucking bow and arrow guy, okay? I like bow and arrow guy. Give me Heisuke all day, every day. Heisuke Atari for life. Don't separate their love. But what an amazing chapter from Sakamoto days, and what a way to really level up the tension more than I could have ever expected with Shin punching Tenq in the face. Now, not only is everyone in the game caught up in this situation, Tenq has no reason to hold anything back. And I'm very curious to see how the hell we handle this situation. I will let you guys know what happens in the next video next week, because you should subscribe. I will be covering every Sakamoto Days chapter from here until Kingdom Come. Make sure you like the button as well. I'm fumbling this outro, but it's fine. I'm not going to re-record. If you enjoyed, thank you so much for watching, and watch the main channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. This chapter's got me fumbled. Peace.